What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Empyrion episode. We got ourselves a bunch of big creations today, so we're gonna take a look at these. So first off, thanks guys for all the support. I didn't expect the last video to do as good as it did, but I was pleasantly surprised. So thanks again for all that. That video is doing really well, so I thought I'd do another one. Alright, so first on our list we have, let's see here, let's start with the HV. So the HV we have today is the jackhammer. It is, as you can tell, very big. It's got a lot of armaments on it. It's got a lot of armaments, and it looks like it's Parasaur, baby. Alright, anyway, so, like I said, it looks like it can deal out a lot of punishment. So, let's turn the GM back off. So, let's get up in here. So, as you can see, we got ourselves access to pretty much a small base. So, you got your constructor, you've got armor's lockers, you've got your O2 station in the back that you can access. You can come over to the side, you can enter the vessel itself, and you got yourself a little seating area. It looks kind of like a little drop ship. If you ever, seen like kind of looks like the inside of like a pelican or something, like a payload. Wow. So there is a lever that opens both doors. Now that's pretty cool. Anyway, so you can also activate your constructor and stuff from back here as well. So, and then here is the cockpit. Not much. The inside is very small, and you have to see here. Okay, so I forgot to put some stuff in it. So let's alright, so you can kind of see it. Anyway, so the hover vessel itself is very, very fragile. It feels like it moves pretty well. Something that I've found a lot of vessels seem to lack is movement. But this one seems to be running pretty well. If you look at the control panel under device or statistics, it's got 48 RCS units, so that's why it can move around so well. And it's got a ton of thrusters, and it's got a ton of engines on it. So it's a very big ship. It's got, just about anything you want, you would need in a small defense, hovercraft. This is pretty much a flying tank, honestly. The only thing it doesn't have is food processors, which isn't that big of a deal if you got one at your base, but and heck, you can do actually do some food production through the suit constructor, or even your survival constructor if you need to. It's got 6 Gatling guns, 4 drill turrets, 2 minigun turrets, 2 rocket turrets, 4 plasma turrets, and 1 artillery turret. So this thing can definitely deal out a lot of damage in a very short time. So we're going to put this back. The next vehicle is actually pretty cool. It is the small vessel over here. This vessel here is called the Scimitar 3, and it's, like I said, it's really cool. So it's like a small drop ship, similar to it really is similar to the jackhammer. It does pack quite a bit of punch, and it's fairly big for an SV. In fact, I would have almost classified this as a small capital vessel if it weren't for the fact that you couldn't put turrets on. So let's turn on the ship. As you can see, it's very spacious. It's got a few passenger seats. Doesn't have enough as much room to walk around in, or not as many people can fit in here. It's got it's got just about everything you need. Lots of fuel tanks, so you can fill up and go. It's got as you can see, there's a few RCS units back there. I'm not sure how many, but it's got its own warp tank and warp drive, and it's got a ton of weapons. Now, first off, let's see here. Let's look at the weapon control panel. So if you look at the statistics, 124 RCS. So this is going to fly, a lot better than anything the prefab blueprints have. So this is going to be extremely responsive. It's got 12 thrusters, on the back and the front, 22 on the top and down, and 12 on the left and right. So it's going to be very reactive. Now the weapons has got 4 rocket launchers, 2 railguns, and 4 pulse lasers. So this would definitely be a very nice ship to have for attacking bases. It is very expensive though, and that's something I don't think I really said in the about the hover vessel. It costs quite a bit. So this is all kind of endgame stuff on this episode. As you can see, very responsive. Turns like turns on the fly. And if you go to attack anything, it's going to be it's going to be able to handle anything that the enemy can throw at it. And I've actually found a very easy way to test this kind of stuff. So I'll be showing you guys that in a second. So let's go ahead and land this back down. Right there. Don't know why. For whatever reason, it's been like making you, instead of like letting you just go next to the chair, it's been making you go to the what's the word for it? It's been making you spawn on top of the roof. So if you're trying to, let's just hope you're not in space, is what I'm saying. It's like, don't be in space, or else you're gonna have a very bad time. There it is. Alright, I'm gonna rest up first. Not really rest up, but make it daytime so you guys can see better. I'm loving Alpha 8 so far. The only problem I've been having with it so far, though, is the lack of POIs. Other than that, it's been really cool. Now, this next ship is, as you can see, it's gigantic. This is called the Buzzsaw, I believe is what it's called. It's basically a gigantic carrier. Now, it does have some problems. It says NX 1110664. So this is it's kind of a Star Trek style ship. It kind of reminds me of a roundabout almost from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Anyway, so as you can see, gigantic's got a ton of weapons. Those are satellites actually, but it's got a ton of weapons. It's actually got some, I believe it's got some weapons that you can actually shoot yourself without them being turrets. Now, this ship, like I said, is really cool. It's basically a carrier. It's got a ton of hangars, and there's a lot of stuff, that you can do with it. So, now, here's my only problem with this ship. It is very empty. So, there's not a lot of decoration in it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It means you can build whatever you want on it. But this, I do feel like needs to be blocked off. Like right here. I mean, you can walk through here into the ship. So I feel like it needs some work, but it's really cool. So, as you can see, it's got 2 of these huge hangar bays right here. It's got a couple more hangar bays up top. I'll show in a second. And here's a bunch of RCSs and thrusters and stuff. There's also a deal you can. So there we go. so there was something in the way there. Alright, so different rooms here that you can do different things with. That, you know, it's like I said, it's very bland. There's not a whole lot of going on with this ship. And I don't have any power in it. Okay, so. But, like I said, you can also do a lot with it. So, you know, obviously core. This is pretty much, you know, basic stuff. Control room, all that. Definitely a good village, or not village, definitely a good ship, you know, if you have a lot of vessels that you're trying to show off, or like if you're trying to go a lot of places, this is definitely a good vessel for that. But it does feel very slow, very sluggish feeling. It's, you know, not a bad thing, and I'm moving, but it's definitely gives you a lot of options. The biggest problem I have with the ship is the lack of, like, dedicated rooms. You got yourself a single med station, you got one oxygen station. You don't have any oxygen tanks or anything like that at all. So it's really something that it's like, here's the base template, and then you can do whatever you want. Another thing I found that this has been having problems with is that it seems that it runs through power like crazy. So that means that there's, okay, yeah, right there, only one fuel tank, and that means it gets eaten up very fast. So it's literally, like I said, it's basically a template for you to do whatever you need. It's only got 12 RCSs, and, you know, it's got plenty of thrusters, which is good. It's got 3 cargo boxes and 1 ammo box, and then, but it does have decent protection here. It's got 6 minigun turrets, 6 pulse laser turrets, 2 rocket turrets, 2 plasma turrets, and 10 pulse lasers. So it definitely can pack quite a punch. But, you know, it is extremely expensive. 33,000 sathium ingots, that's going to be forever. I mean, you will have a hard time getting that in the game. It's best just to spawn this one in. Now, again, this is mostly a template. There's nothing else here that really worth mentioning other than it doesn't have any kind of warp capability, so you'll have to put a warp drive on there as long as a warp drive tank. You'll have to put it, but you'll have to put in a lot of extra stuff if you want to make it into a decent ship, which, like I said, it's a template. I can imagine there being a lot of ways to make this work. It's got a lot of space, so you can do practically anything you want with this ship. So, I mean, that is really cool. You can deck it out any way you want, and, you know, look cool while doing it. And it's got so much space that you can literally put just about any kind of ship you want in there. So, for example, let's go back to looking at some of these cargo things. So, you can put several different types of ships in here. The biggest cargo bays were on the bottom, and okay, so here's the warp tank, or the fuel tanks, and there's the deal. So, but you've got a lot of big spaces, so, you know, I mean, you can put, I believe, 5 or 6 different ships on here. You know, some more of the big warp bays, or hangar bays, and then there's 2 more bays. There's one right here in the front, which leads pretty much through the entire ship. You can actually go, these bays hook up to the other bays as well. And there is one more bay on the very bottom here for your hover vessels. So, turn GM mode off. Oh crap, turn it back on. And yeah, right here, you know, one last one for your hover vessel. Like I said, my biggest problem is that you don't have, a lot of these bays seem to be very big, but they don't have any kind of, you know, connection to the rest of the ship. So we're gonna go through here right quick. You know, see, just it just drops on to the outside. There's no connection to the rest of the ship. Other than that, it's really cool. It's got a lot of potential. It's got very, very destructive weapons on it, which is very good. Like I said, the only problem I would say is with the ship is just the fact that it's not really well connected. So our next creation here is called the Tantalus, I believe is what it's called. Let's see here. Is very cool, very big, and definitely something you would spawn in. I could definitely see people doing and you know, in Minecraft you have the adventure maps. Well, I could definitely see this being a place for an adventure map. It's almost looks like something that would be in a admin building or something. That's how well. I mean, look at this. This is amazing. It's got itself a little fireplace. You know, it's got elevator that goes up to the med bay, and there's an armory and what's that room? A control room? What is that? Yeah, control room. You know, I mean, this just looks amazing. Definitely really cool. A lot more space than anyone could ever want. And I think I'm running out of power. Oh yeah. There we go. That should keep everything running. So this thing is like the last base I showed you on the last episode. This one is definitely an in-game video base. You're not going to be using this one for, you know, gameplay unless you spawn it in. You know, very big grow plot room. You know, it's definitely not something you would be able to do in game unless you're like spending a couple hundred hours on the game itself. So it's very big, very spacious. You know, a lot of different places to go. Just really, overall, a really cool base. You know, here's one of the hangars, and yeah, see right there, you got yourself overhead hangars, so you can do kind of a Stargate, Atlantis kind of dive. Get some puddle jumpers, and you'll be able to go into Atlantis like that. It's just really cool, and it's got a ton of weapons. So if you look at the statistics, 4 minigun turrets. You know, for those pesky drones, it's got 6 sentry guns, so you got some internal defenses in case someone decides they're going to raid your base. 3 rocket turrets and 5 cannon turrets. So it's got very good defenses for this base. It's not quite as good as the Flint Break base that I showcased, but it's definitely going to be a tough one to beat. Like I said, it's fairly expensive to make, but you actually... You know, they actually did a fairly good job about not using very expensive materials. But, you know, 11,000 iron ingots, that's definitely a heavy price to pay. But it's this one I think would definitely be doable. It's a 7-hour production time, but, you know, I mean, there's ways around that. The only problem here is the size class. That's the biggest thing. But you can actually get around that by screwing around with the game files. So guys, I believe that's everything on this showcase for these 4 creations. So we're going to pause here, and I'm going to get into the combat test of things. So we'll be right back. Oh, I didn't even see this. This is really cool. This is really cool. Generators, constructors. Okay, so this is like a crafting area. You know, got all of your generators and stuff. This is really cool. Anyway, so I'm gonna pause here, guys. I'm gonna get ready for the battle test, and I'll see you all in a second. All right, guys, we're back for the combat test. And I actually found a way around having to search for POIs to attack. Basically, I built my own POIs. So right over here is a couple of turret system I'll probably show you guys how to do that in another episode. This is since this is a combat test. Anyway, so we're gonna turn off all the stuff and we're gonna get out and kind of inspect the damage. Now, from the looks of it, okay, so we lost a glass window right there. I think we have all of our guns still, for the most part. Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, so apparently just as I was doing that, it unfroze. Alright, so anyway, for the most part, it looks like it held up pretty well. So we got our rockets. This side took a pretty big beating, but, you know, I did flip over. The front took kind of a beating. This will definitely be a good ship for more drops, performing like a drop ship more than as an actual combat ship. I think that, you know, a ship this big, even though it's very responsive for the controls, I think that it's just a little too big to, you know, strafe past shots, especially when you have a lot of rockets coming in like I did with 3 separate turrets. With that said, I think it's still a good ship. I just would use it more as a exploration ship, not really as a raider ship. Just because it's really way too long, and, you know, I lost control. I don't know if that was me or if it was something in the ship. But, you know, it did take the 3 rocket turrets fairly well, and so it's pretty good. So, I'll be right back with the next combat test system. Alright, we're back with the hover vessel. Now we're heading over to another test site. I just got to the building, and like I said, I'm definitely going to show you guys. Okay, they're out there to see me. As you can see, this thing. As you guys can see, it made short work of those little defenses I built. Now, I know it's not really a fair test, but unfortunately, that's the best I can come up with for now. I actually have an idea for another way of doing things, but it'll take a minute for me to test. Oh, that's spotted. Anyway, as you guys saw, this thing is just beast moded it. It wiped those turrets out very fast, and I think it only had a couple of hits done on it. The problem is, the only way to get the turrets to shoot at you is doing it through survival. So it may look like I'm in creative, but I just use the commands to be in survival. Alright, so as you guys can see, not hardly any damage actually. Not that I can see. I know we did get a couple hit a couple of times, but I don't see the damage. Maybe that sheet right there. Let's try to do so. Yeah, I don't see where we got hit. I know we got hit, but I don't see it anywhere. So anyway, definitely a good hover vessel. This one I believe would also probably qualify as an end game. Let's just take a look at the. Yeah, this one's definitely in game. It's not nearly as expensive as some of the ships, with only the most expensive being the 2200 iron ingots you need. But, you know, aerostrom ingots and the cosium is extremely hard to find, as well as sapphire. So, neodymium or whatever is not as hard, but still kind of hard to find. So that's not too bad. Alright guys, so I'm going to pause here and I'm going to go into space and try to do a test of the buzzsaw, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we're back with the final test here. So basically what I did was I spawned a prefab base and I took off all the cannons and then I put them back on and then put an enemy core in. So we're going to see how well this ship can handle a full-sized base. We're actually... Okay, there it goes. Yeah, so it is... okay, so it is working. It's nice to know. No! Whoa, crap. Okay. As you can see, it's doing quite a bit of damage to that base. Alright, so it's definitely... Oh, crap. Here we're gonna back up a little bit so we're not constantly shooting. And we're gonna take a look at the damage of both the base and the capital vessel. So alright, so go ahead and GM. Okay, yeah, it is. Alright, so since we had quite a few impacts there on the front, I think probably most of the damage was probably done towards the first hangar bay here. Yeah, there's some damage done to the front sides of the deal, but it doesn't look like we took very much damage. Probably because the prefab base only has, I believe, it has 4 cannon turrets and 2 flak turrets. The flak turrets, I don't know. I think they do a decent amount of damage, but that's all we had on this thing. We had 4, and then I did add 4 on the bottom and 2 flak turrets on the bottom as well, just so that we kind of, that way it can shoot underneath as well. Now this sucker here got mutilated. We're missing all the platforms have been hit pretty bad. This one's looks like they got hit pretty bad right there. Here, that's blown through. All the catwalks are blown through. Okay, so it's missing its doors. Its hangar doors. Looks like it got hit pretty bad. Yeah, it got hit pretty bad. This base would not have survived. I believe the core is about right here. I believe the core, yeah, I think it's right here. So if we go, yeah, right here's the core. So it did quite a bit of damage. The ship itself, you know, I mean, it's definitely good. Although I probably should have used weapons that were a bit stronger than cannon turrets, but I wanted things to be about the same. So looks like got ourselves some damaged. Yeah, actually the bottom looks fairly good. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to drop a like on the button below. And be sure to subscribe. So I'll see y'all later, guys.